Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Williampierre here, back in another video, and today I'm going to be playing Blox Fruits, and I'm going to be doing a fruit review video. It's probably not going to be the first one, or the last one, depending on how I decide to order things, because right now, based on the thumbnail, and the title, and my inventory, you should be able to know that I'm going to be doing the Venom fruit today. And that's not at all in the order of fruits, it is one of the last fruits in the game. But it's the first fruit I have at my disposition, so based on how I decide to do things, you might see this later, or you might see this first. Also, because of YouTube, it's probably not going to be the first one you see anyway. Like most things, I'm probably going to end up only doing a few, or based on how well it does, none at all after this one. But I want to at least try it, see how it goes. So, either way, I hope this helps you out, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Right, so, getting on to the fruit itself. The Venom fruit is one of the most expensive fruits in the game, at 3 million belly. Now, to put that into perspective, me getting 13 million in the second sea is pretty good, because I own the 2x cash game pass. Now, there are people with over 100 million, even 200 million belly, but that's irrelevant. It's a pretty late game fruit, because, as you can see, it's got high mastery requirements. 450 is with 2x mastery, by the way, so it's not very easy. Not to mention the transformation is very important if you want to fight big bosses and do raids, for example. Now, Venom is a pretty long-range fruit, while also being a pretty short-range fruit. It can do both. The thing is, with Poison Daggers, it's got range. Poison Daggers is the first attack, you're going to be using it a lot if you ever get the fruit. Actually, you know what, let me show you. It'll be easier to comprehend. It has some range to it, like, it will probably hit the building. While it also has poison puddles on the ground. Let me show you what the poison puddles do. In fact, it doesn't want to show you. Never mind. Right, hold up. I'm gonna have to get a new example. The poison puddles deal damage whenever they walk through it. Now let's show you. 294, 294. It deals a bit of damage. Not as much as the initial blasts themselves, but it's extra damage. It does something. Ow. You know what? You can die. That's the second attack that I just showed you. The noxious shot. Noxious shot. Basically, big explosion. It's got big AoE. And it also is charged up normally. You can't fire it without charging it up, I think. Let me try this. Yeah, it can be charged up for extra damage by the looks of it. It has, eventually it has a timeout. If you charge it up too much, it'll explode on you. It's kind of annoying. With its explosion, it gives you a poison effect. Now, the poison effect is the whole point of Venom. It's kind of in the name. The poison effect definitely gives it a big DPS buff. All of its attacks have some sort of poison effect. Poison Daggers has the puddles. Noxious Shot has both the puddles and the afflicting poison. Toxic Fog just afflicts poison. Transformation is a transformation. And Serpent's Wrath afflicts poison too. And I believe it even drops poison, I think. You know what, let's try it. No, it doesn't drop poison, but as you can see, a particle effect appears around them. They are poisoned, and they will take damage from it. As you can see, he's just lowered in health. You know what, I'm just gonna finish them all. Well, apparently that didn't work. Its damage isn't incredible. Its immediate damage is comparable to Dragon, if not a bit lower than Dragon. Completely different moveset. This fruit in general is basically Dragon V2. Because it has the same Fury meter. The Fury meter is more important for transformation, I'll go on about that later. But it has a bunch of short and mid-range attacks, as well as a flying ability. The difference about this flying ability that is pretty useful to know is that it deals damage. Serpent's Wrath, you can fly with it. I reassure you, it's got short flight though, it's limited. But then, you can crash down, dealing an AoE explosion with poison. And it's pretty good too. Like, that does more damage than your base attack. So it's got 5 different moves. 4 of them deal damage, one's a transformation that increases damage. Toxic Fog is the sort of special one, because it does not have immediate damage. It only deals poison. As you can see, poison effect, and actually it does deal immediate damage, but insignificant immediate damage. It's only its poison effect that really shines in its attack. And it's not got a massive amount of AoE, and it's got 0 range. You can't use it in a ranged context. Huh, I thought I saw something in the background. The thing is, with its 2 ranged attacks, it's kind of ranged attack, and it's not ranged attack. It has a pretty balanced thing. I'll give it that. It's balanced in terms of short to mid-range attacks. 0 long-range attacks. This is about as far as it goes. It doesn't even reach the building there. It's not got long range. This thing doesn't either. It barely reaches it. We're gonna have to test that later, because I thought it didn't go that far, but... Actually, hold up. It's pretty long-ranged. The thing is that the longer range you go, the more dispersive little blotches of poison are, and those are pretty useful. And when I say it's not... Okay, why did I press the wrong button? The longer range it is, the worse. It doesn't go that far. It's not... It doesn't even go until that tower. That's long range, definitely. Toxic Fog, AoE around you. Pretty basic stuff. Now for the transformation. Transformation is based on the Fury meter. Transforming takes up Fury. Even using any attack takes up Fury, but it doesn't really do anything anymore. Because they revamped it. Basically, Venom no longer takes up nearly as much when just sitting there, the passive drain from Fury. But they increased how much it drains when using attacks, when transforming, for example. Actually, no, I don't even think they increased it from using attacks. I think it's just from transforming that it took away, like, 1.5 bars. The thing is, with every attack, they get upgraded with the transformation. This one, it becomes purple. Not massive, but also more bubbles. Puddles. It also has quite the range increase. Let me run away from him. It also shoots out more, and it does more damage. So, general upgrade. Noxious Shot, same thing. More damage, cooler effect, a lot more damage even. And dead. The Toxic Fog, on the other hand, has a massive revamp in visual effect. It is really cool. It becomes a nuclear wasteland inside of it, and also massive increase. This time it actually creates a puddle. I keep saying puddle. It creates a puddle of Venom, I guess it would be. And the Serpent's Wrath, you now become a sort of technically 4-headed at this point, thing, and then it has a homing shot. 3 separate homing shots. Each shot has a different target. They do not hit the same target at all. It's a pretty useful attack, I must say. The upgraded Serpent's Wrath is very useful in a fight because it goes straight for the enemy. And it's one of the only homing attacks in the game, so, you know, that's pretty useful for those who can't aim. Something a bit weird about the poison daggers that I've noticed is that even if your initial shot hits, but your second one, third one, or fourth one don't even hit, they will still deal damage. And if the enemy runs into the puddle, which is why in the next bit I will explain the strategy behind the usage of these, it can be used very well. Although Venom, overall, I would probably place it lower than Dragon when it comes to fighting players. In PvE, it reigns supreme. It's better. But in PvP, when they're not going to fall for the trick of putting Venom below them, using the Poison Daggers, Noxus Shot, and the upgraded Toxic Fog and all that, they're not going to run into the puddles and die. At least I hope not. If you're going to run into those, you kind of deserve it. You kind of deserve to lose with that. Also not something to be used in long range. If that wasn't already obvious, it's not a long-range thing. It's mostly into DPS. It's not very quick either. It's got probably the Flame Fruit speed, which is decent, and it's not a Lurgia either, so it doesn't have that advantage. It does definitely have the good visuals, though. It looks good, because it's one of the more recent fruits. The more recent, the better, usually. It does not have an Awakening, which can be both a good thing and a bad thing. Just to explain for those who might not have understood how the Fury meter works, the more you attack an enemy, the more it increases. It also slowly increases over time no matter what you do. And so, the Fury meter is your best friend once you've unlocked your transformation, but otherwise it's useless. Same thing with Dragon. Because that transformation should only be used in a boss fight, otherwise, no point. Let me do that. There's someone in the call now who will hopefully verify my information. You can unmute yourself if you want. I've got a max level player, or close to max level player, which is this guy right here, who might verify my information about the Venom, for if he's alive. And he left, great. Anyway, about the strategy of using the Venom Fruit, the best way to use it is in close combat. You don't want to use it like a Buddha Fruit, though. If you're using it like the Buddha Fruit and you are up in their face, you're using it incorrectly. You need to be standing around this distance away from them. Enough to the point where every time they walk towards you, they will hit a puddle. In fact, a set of them, preferably. You need to angle yourself so that every time they come after you, they hit the puddles. Fighting at this distance is not optimal, though. Well, this distance it's just about the same, actually, but it's not the most efficient way of playing. Because dispersing your puddles gives them less chance, or gives you more, like, less chance of being able to circle around and make them hit it more. If you're trying to be efficient with your energy, because if you're like me and have little to no energy, with the Noxus shot, you want to make sure that they always run into the puddle. You can essentially save energy by doing this. Or if you have nothing left on cooldown, you can just do that. They're gonna die eventually. Because it lasts a while. There we go. As for usage of Toxic Fog, I don't use it. Personally, as someone who has gotten this thing and used it for like a full week or two of playing this game straight, I just only use this for... it does not have any really redeeming qualities until you transform. The redeeming quality when you transform is that you can blind all your teammates. If you want to be the most annoying person on your team, you just activate the Toxic Fog while transformed. Now, actually good traits about it is also you can blind your enemy. That's always a double-edged sword though, because in case you're fighting with other people, you're going to end up blinding them. Another thing is, it's got massive AoE. As opposed to before transformation, it's got large AoE. And its damage is actually useful. Although lack of range and it's not really consistent. It's more consistent than most things, but it's not entirely the most consistent thing in a fight, because if they're smart, your enemy will just run straight out of the zone of impact and just run. In an arena fight like that, it is very useful. If you're in that arena over there in the second C, in the official 1v1 place, having an entire portion of the arena under your influence for slow damage is incredibly useful in PvP. Although in an open area, like if you're fighting in an area like this, you're less likely to do anything by using your ability.
So, what are we talking about?
The Venom Fruit. Have you used it?
I have.
Good, that's already one bonus point. What do you think of it?
The damage is insane.
Well, there you go.
Range is a bit terrible on it, but damage is good. The poison damage is very good as well. The area of effect covers a lot.
Well, it's mostly when you transform. Before transformation, its area of effect is pretty average.
Yeah, but after transformation, you basically get free kills.
Whether you want to or not. Because I have accidentally killed people while transformed. It's happened. It's funny to see their reaction.
I think the only things that have bigger AoE is Dragon.
Yeah, I compared it to Dragon earlier, because it's basically another version of Dragon. It's got transformation, it's got flight, and it's got the Fury Meter.
Yeah.
Very similar, except not at all at the same time. Because at least Dragon can fly while transformed, and Dragon gets a damage resistance. Although for the price, I'm not even sure if it's balanced, because I'm pretty sure Venom's better for its price. Because it's 3 million, and Dragon, I believe, it's 3.6 million.
3.5.
Oh, 3.5 million.
With a Venom, you're also able to fly while transformed.
Really?
And it makes the... Yeah, if you use the F, you can still fly.
Well, I guess I'm kind of flying. Yeah, well, that is something that you can't do in Dragon. You can't just somehow fly with that too. Although that takes up a lot of fury, so it's annoying. I can't really show the full extent of what you can do with Venom, as I have little to no experience in fighting in PvP. And I also don't have any energy. I can't sustain a fight with it. And usually you don't actually have to, because if you're fighting enemies in PvE, you just circle around them, you make sure they always run into your puddle with Noxus shot, and you're good to go. It's not really much of a problem.
What's also really annoying about the X move is it has slight auto aim.
Does it?
Yeah, it has like if you aim towards someone, like around them, it'll kind of track.
Hold up, let me try it on you. Stand back. Hold up, let me try and aim that way. It does, it has auto aim. I tried to aim for the blue building beside you and it hit you.
And that's done about 3,000 damage.
Yeah, and I don't even have max, I don't have max Blox Fruits on this thing. It's only 2,200, which, to be fair, is close.
Yeah.
That is a lot of damage, because that means you only need to put in, like, 3-4 times of that attack, and you've killed your enemy. Although you did stand in the puddle.
Yeah. I did stand in the puddle.
Well, granted your enemy is either AFK or an idiot, it could work pretty well. It's one of the only fruits where I can say that it really depends on how dumb your opponent is. If they stand in the puddle or don't know what it does, if they're uneducated on the matter, you're most likely to win. Or you're more likely, because the thing is, if they don't know that you have poisoned them, or they don't know about the puddles, you can deal thousands without them realizing it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's kind of... The poison puddles are kind of pointless in the PvP nowadays, because everyone's in the air.
Yeah, that is what I said. If they're smart or they just have a flying attack, they'll always avoid it. There's no point.
Yeah, but some people usually they like to play on the ground instead.
Fair enough.
Like me, I don't sit in the air. I kind of just play from the ground.
Well, what are you? What do you do? You have a Nightblade on your back, so I'd presume you're either a swordsman or you use that just kind of on the side.
No, it's the complete opposite. I'm a fruit main.
So you just have that for sure, alright.
Yeah, I mean...
What was that fruit you used? A soul fruit? Spirit fruit?
I used to use a soul fruit. It did a lot of damage, but the aim was a bit...
Bruh. Yeah, the soul fruit's gonna be my next one.
And then I went to Awakened Phoenix. That was pretty insane, because the damage, the range, and AoE on it is just... It's one of the best now. And now I have Doe.
As an overall out of 10, how much would you rate it? The Venom fruit?
I would give it a 7. The range is a bit bad, but
7.
kind of it. 7 to 8. It's just the range that kind of makes it bad.
I have to agree with you on that one. I'm gonna go with a 7 to 8 as well. Though for its price, I would say it's actually pretty bad. Because it is very expensive and hard to master.
No, the mastery is quite easy. It's just the last stretch towards the transformation that's painful.
Yeah, I had that. Even with 2 times mastery, it's gonna be annoying, which I didn't have at the time. So I struggled a fair
Yeah.
bit. The redeeming quality of Venom is its DPS, which
Yeah,
in the end is only situational, so it's kind of annoying.
yeah.
Though, much like Dragon, I do not recommend this fruit for the first seed. It is, because of its 300 mastery requirement to unlock its full potential, as well as its potentially hard to use abilities. Because you really have to spam your abilities if you want to get maximum efficiency. And it's not
Yeah.
necessarily the easiest thing. It's not like light in a fight, where you just fly around, you can barely even get hit. It is pretty annoying to fight against, but it's not that bad. Well, thank you for watching. Special thanks to DaKillerPeep and VH Null, also known as Astrxlio. He was the guy who I was talking to just now. He's the little 2,200 or whatever it is, the max, 2,300 even. Who... Okay, I don't know what that is. The killer has a special challenge proposition. I need you, in the comments, whoever's watching this, to put every timestamp of every time he appears in the background of the video. He has been here since the beginning. Walking around, running around, appearing. I hope he didn't transform, because that'd make it very obvious, because he has Buddha. Awakened Buddha, even. And, we hope you enjoyed. I hope my information was useful to you. And, I'm looking forward to doing more of these. Bye.